S. Interestingly though, they go
Ah,
for a different option. I thought that they might go Alpha Hilda, but they went with
Oke, game
Valentina instead.
kedua.
okay,
RRQ
they went
Hoshi
with
melawan
Valentina
Fnatic
and
Connect
Hilda, but we know for a
Filipin.
fact that if you have Hilda
Skor
on your
sementara
side, it's a
1-0
really good
untuk
roamer to give you
RRQ
a lot of
Hoshi.
potential to give leeway for your jungler. And this is what we saw on Arakiyoshi, right? Durin was a menace. He always let Skylar as well
Sujin
as Rins to
to
just
show you
no, sorry, Skylar as well as Suzujin to be at
tapi
anywhere
tendanya
with comfort zone on their own. They don't have to worry much because Darren will always be there to just guard them out and allow them to maneuver and the map itself. But now coming into
skill Poppy.
the choices of Arakyoshi, we got Matilda being picked up as well as Phobius.
So the reason why the Hilda pick is actually really good here for Fnatic Onyx with the Valentina is because you would typically want to match Hilda with a hero that's hard to kill, right? So obviously Hylos or Gatot. However, both of those have really important ultimates that the Valentina can steal away. It thereby forces RQ into something like the
Joy,
Phobius
joy, joy,
and this
joy.
will
Better
allow
banget
Hilda
joy.
in the EXP lane to get unlocked a whole lot earlier. RQ has considered this. That's why they go for the Matilda instead, so that they can match that mobility and deal with the Hilda by pulling people away to safety if she goes for the invade. However, with the Joy getting locked in, that's gonna make RQ's job a whole lot more difficult because the two positions that would typically have the best CC of dealing with her, the Roam and the EXP, have already been picked by RQ, and neither of them have a solid way of locking her down.
Oh, this is gonna be tough. I mean, Fnatic Onyx. You talked about how Joy right now has already been into a popularized pool as well after the patch news as well, right? And I think pretty much Joy is one heroes that need to be watched out as well. And this is ROQ Hoshi. They still have a map support that they need to be careful on coming into their choices at the moment right now. With ban ups right here, we do see that Farmis as well as Vexana been picked out to be taken out. Vector's also been shut down by the team of ROQ Hoshi on their side.
Yeah, Fnatic, I really like the way they're drafting right now. It is very respectful and also very smart. Getting rid of the Faramis because the Matilda Faramis combo can be very scary in the hands of a coordinated team, not to mention that Joy's damage is very burst based, so if NetherRealm eats all of it, they won't get to do too much. And the Vexana, which is one of the mages that can actually handle a Hilda or Joy jumping on them if they time the Terrify properly. Aurora, unfortunately, is not quite as easy to do with that. RQ do decide to ban out Marksman instead, aiming for a lot of killer classics in the Beatrix and the carry, but we do still have things like the Claude and the Natan open.
Yeah, that's true though. So, doing on the side of Fnatic Onyx, I mean, pretty much they don't really have much to worry because the pool is still open for them. A lot of the heroes that Carol can use, as well as the fact that I think there's a possibility that you can still pick up anyone to actually distinguish as, or even have those individual fights that is Arakyoshi will try to do will not be in the favor of them. But no, are you kidding me? You're picking up Brody? I mean, I know, yes, Brody has been buffed this season or this patch note, but it's not really it was not really that much of the buff to be given out. The adjustment is not that much on the cooldown. But then again, I don't know, maybe Fnatic on him knows what we don't know now, Steffa?
Brody is really interesting because he is supposed to be picked up to win a lane, but due to a lot of changes over the last few patches, doesn't even match up to heroes like Natan, Harif, or Clint, right? Or Bruno, for example. So people just don't really pick him up. He got buffed in the recent patch to have physical attack growth. That only helps him out towards the lane. In that regard, he loses out to heroes like Claude, Beatrix, and so on. So I don't feel like he's that good at Brawl, so I miss playing him a lot.
I agree. I mean, again, I think even day number three, we did saw one of the teams, if I'm not mistaken, it should be on the side of Monster
Aduh,
Vicious
kenapa
Gamers.
orang hilang
It's
ini
looking like Monster Vicious
pik-pikannya?
picked up Brody to try and error. I'm not sure
Terlalu
whether
banyak
there
yang
was one
nonton
team that
kah?
actually picked up Brody, and it was not going into their side. It wasn't actually what I expected, and that's the crucial point. I mean, like, you try to pick up a hero. I'm not sure what they're trying to pull out into the gameplay style. Maybe because of the fact that Pachino, they thought that Brody after the buff it would be
Woi,
better to be used.
ESL,
But
mana
then
nih?
again, on the
Pik-pikannya
map
mana
wise
nih?
that we are seeing right now, three of the heroes that have been picked out by Fnatic on it is already a good picks for them. But once they picked out Brody into the match up, I'm questioning what Fnatic Onyx is actually trying to put out in the gameplay.
Yeah, unless it turns out that the Brody pick was actually some sort of mistake, because there was a little bit of
Yeah,
glitching
true,
going on there.
true.
We're gonna wait a little.
Trying to insert himself, that's not really a good
Aduh, tiba-tiba udah 8 menit.
Will be immediately be punished by Durin on the side right now. We do see Kara had to pull away, but King Kong on the side will be shut down by Susujin, immediately getting two trades right now. And as you see, it seems like Susujin is not done. He wants to pull another player of RRQ.
Ayo, RRQ.
On the side of Fnatic Onyx,
Di atas Skylar
Team Fnatic
picknya.
Onyx losing these two players in the process of trying to shut down RRQ. Hoshi is still not enough, but covering grounds on the map wise, look at this. We got two of the turrets already been taken out. Team RRQ Hoshi looking better than ever.
I do wish we got to see exactly what are the moments in this situation. But it looks like RQ Hoshi has been able to reclaim a gold lead, and Decision getting another Lord. While the late game scaling between these two is not necessarily different compared to game number one, because there isn't something like a Claude to deal with. I do think that RQ still has the slightly better late game, because Brody doesn't scale quite as well, and with a Harif and Suyo, you actually have a lot of damage to deal with.
Agree, definitely. I mean, not only that, you got Rins using that Aurora as well. So Team RQ Hoshi, they're going out for the damage itself. Now pushing it straight to Kurt immediately. Durin trying to stop his way with the power of Wilderness, but didn't manage to do so as Kurt managed to pull away. Now the Lord will be marching into the lane to clear out the last second turret in the mid.
So far, RQ looks to be in control of this game. Fnatic on, they do have to. Valentina and Joy actually do a surprising amount of DPS once they've got a few items under their belt. But Susujin just finished his VOD. So being able to control the fight is very, very crucial. Briscoe going to be the only real form of setup that Fnatic on it can play around on that Arlet. But if the timing is incorrect, Rins, who did end up going Aurora in the end after Vexana got banned out, will be able to take over the fight.
Okay, Susujin going in for the slash, but doesn't manage to get the knocks that is needed. King Kong still survive it out. Jungler versus jungler, it does seems in the favor of King Kong though, because Susujin had so much damage, but RQ Hoshi with a really good call out respawn wise. That's the reason why King Kong had to pull away before he's been ganged out. But at the same time, right here, another turret to be taken out on the second last tier. So that means it's all out to the last tier of Fnatic on it, holding on to their turrets.
Looking at the gold leaderboard right now, Susujin right at the very top with Skylar right behind him as well. King Kong not quite at level 15, so there is an EXP disparity. We can see that the rotations from RQ Hoshi are very, very controlled with this Matilda.
King Kong, King Kong.
Try to go in for the power of Wilderness, but doesn't manage to take it out. Now Durin had to pull away so much overextension, ended up having him to cause his own half line. But at the same time, right here, Zaman Force will not be able to have anyone to lock on. It's just so them to give them at least a slow down tempo coming into their own movement. But at the same time, right here, Fnatic on it, trying to find a way if they can actually pick up anyone from RQ Hoshi.
Yeah, looking at the itemization right now, Holy Crystal already completed on Skylar as well. This is where Harif really starts hitting like a truck. Continuing to invade the jungle.
Oh, Psycho takes down Super Fritz as well. Great job coming in with that hit. At the same time, right here, and he had to pull away.
Yeah, things are not looking too good for Fnatic Onyx. Nearly a 5k disparity between them, 12 minutes in. Malefic Roar just completed on Sutsujin. And while they do have tools to maybe manage the Suyo, they're having to spend a lot of it dealing with just Dyron and Skylar, both of which have kind of get out of free jail cards because of that Matilda. The way that they're able to dance in
touring
and out of the
server
team fights,
melawan
while a little bit
Brawl
different from game
server.
number one, is showing some similarities. The controlled rotation,
Siapa yang
really
akan
good
menang?
play. That is how they're coming out on top against Fnatic
Aduh
right
gengsi,
now.
aduh gengsi.
Agree, definitely. And taking a look on RRQ Hoshi, doing a really good ground. They're looking over to the side of King Kong. E-Dog is looking for a way, but oh, they pull away instead to go in for that two-way because they are going to actually prioritize on the wave as the Lord is already marching in. And seems like King Kong gets the input. He's going to actually recall back to join into the team fight. Pushing in straight away on the top right now. Hason comes through, does get a hit to Kurt's side, but it's not going to be enough. The turret is coming in already. First of the trade from the mid lane is already been taken down. But on the side of Kirk, he's looking for one person to try to tag off. But it seems that Ara Kyoshi
Aduh,
deniably
kena
stun
gua.
comes through. And it's going to be
E-Dognya
super fast
mati.
to be able to take down E-Dog first of all.
Aduh, Rin juga. Rin
Overextension
mundur,
will be
mundur, mundur,
punished.
mundur,
But at this
mundur.
moment right now, we do see the side comes through from the side of RQ to be able to hold down that positioning. So much of the resources being put out, but it's still not enough.
There's very, very heavy pressure on Briscoe right now. That final slash is the only real way that Fnatic can really punish RRQ for being out of position. And that was one clear example of it. But they were only able to find
Sabar,
two.
sabar,
It's not
sabar,
quite
sabar,
enough
sabar.
yet. They're going to see what more they can take by pushing down mid.
Oh, turret will be picked up. Summer he had to pull away straight away, but at the same time, right here, Fnatic Onyx will be able to take down Durin even with the Kara to be pushed out. But at the same time, RQ Hoshi looking a little bit struggling right now, even though they were in the lead in the first place.
Yeah, that is the momentum that Onyx really, really needed. RQ are still fine. They still have a 5k net worth lead. That's just a momentary stopgap in their advancement. But they cannot allow that to happen a second or third time. Briscoe's positioning keys needs to be paid attention to, and they cannot group out right outside the base because that just sets up perfectly for a Flicker final slash. Are Fnatic gonna use this opportunity to take as many structures as possible and look to regain control over the map so that they can more easily contest the next neutral objective?
Agree, definitely. 30 seconds on the clock. Lord will be spawned out, and it seems that they're trying to actually push this wave to the side of Team RQ Hoshi. Let's see if it's gonna be in their favor. Spotted out Kirk in the bushes. They will get the info they required. Not gonna allow any invasion or the movement of Team Fnatic Onyx that easily. But we do see King Kong is already right at the top, and they might actually go in for this fight. Already stacking on the Lord, waiting for the time being.
Briscoe, if he can set up a final slash into King Kong and Kelra, that is the win condition that Onyx is looking for. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a big flashy play like that.
Tapi Dairon,
They can
tapi
start
Dairon,
picking up individual members of RRQ, maybe forcing out resources early. They can still
Hati-hati
take
Dairon.
control of this
Aduh,
game.
kena lagi dua.
Oh, but they picked up, almost able
sudah
to be
flicker dia.
taken out a little bit too over-extension coming in from our
Yes, punya
team,
sudah
but
flicker.
still they managed to
E-Dog juga
actually
flicker
position
tapi.
themselves. But right now, Ido try to find a way to take
Oh ya.
down Prince, but on the
Yuk,
other side,
aduh,
a
yuk,
little bit over-extension.
aduh.
Oh, but he
Nah,
managed to pull away. Able
mantap
to
sekali.
able to take down
Mantap
Bruce
sekali.
immediately.
Mati
Pushing
dia.
into Kelra, takes down
Ayo.
Jin, and that's gonna be an opening.
Nah.
Super Prince try to move away as quickly as possible, but will he be able
Dikit,
to do
dikit,
so? So
dikit,
much
dikit.
damage being put
Aduh.
out. Team RQ Kazu try to hold it out even with the shots
Lord,
coming
Lord,
through by
Lord,
Scarlet.
Lord.
Still not gonna be in their favor, but still that's already enough damage that is needed. But Kurt all by himself tried to clear out the wave coming into the mid lane. Not sure what is going on, but Kurt now will be joining into the team fight. He tried to finish off the mid lane, but this Lord will be able to clear out to give the opportunity for RQ Hoshi to march on again into the baseline of Fnatic Onyx.
Kirk definitely doing God's work though. That's basically the only thing that he can try to do there, slow down the middle wave. Because if he didn't manage to do that, it would have collapsed with RQ at the same time when multiple members were already taken out. And that could have actually been the end of game 2. There's no way that Kirk is going to be able to rejoin the fight after all of that. So dealing with wave management and making sure housekeeping is kept up is the best way to maintain the game state. Unfortunately, because Briscoe missed he did land the flicker final slash, but his team wasn't close enough
Oh,
to follow
Sujin,
up on
aduh,
that. That's really the
Sujin.
thing.
Oh, but Susujin is in a very tough situation right here,
Aduh,
but he will be able to take down by King Kong
Sujin.
now. Fnatic Onyx
Blunder,
denied
Blunder
immediately
mati
two of the
gua.
players of RRQ Hoshi as
Cepet.
well, taking out Reens as well. Even with the Lord itself is already marching into Fnatic Onyx, they don't have enough of resources to be put out. So here now, it seems that King Kong will try to actually go in. Nope, he doesn't actually try to go into, because that's not a really good position to fight out with RRQ Hoshi.
A bit of a mistake by Sejin there. He definitely should have left. If he was counting the timing, he would have known that the skill 2 of Joy was already back up, and a single hit would have been enough to take him out. And if he's gone, there's no way that Rins can follow up, because the Aurora just has a hard time catching that Joy. If I get that they were probably trying to split push the wave and maybe hold King Kong back from rejoining his friends, so that maybe the rest of RRQ could push in with the Lord and end the game. But because they lost 2 members there, King Kong was able to get back, Fnatic was able to regroup, and the Lord that RRQ had so painstakingly gained for themselves amounted to really no advantage on the map at all. And the longer the game goes, the more control Fnatic is able to take for themselves. This Suyo, while still able to do a lot of DPS in the last few minutes, is pretty squishy once you get to that stage, and Joy actually starts taking over with the amount of anti-CC that she can play around.
Oh, agree, definitely. And this is a crucial point coming in from RRQ Hoshi. They have to time it right, gotta be careful. And it seems that Brusco is gonna try to find a way to break into the back line of RRQ Hoshi, but it's gonna be Kirk, try to initiate it, but they pull away, denying any movement coming in for Fnatic. Super Fins also just overlooking from the distance, but it's gonna be Duran who try to go in for the initiation, but doesn't manage to do it. Even with the Hailstorm, denies any movement coming in from Fnatic. Try to get that info as much as possible, but Team Fnatic Onyx is all over the place.
Yeah, neither team is gonna look to commit right there. Information is the battlefield right now. As we approach the 20-minute mark, Kirk, his job is just to stand in front, provide scouting, and see where RQ is. Briscoe, despite being on an Arlet, actually wants to stand back so that he can come in at the opportunistic time to get a flicker final slash and put RQ out of position. The best case scenario, if they've already spent resources trying to dive into Fnatic Onyx. That mistake has already happened to them once. I highly doubt it'll happen again. It's gonna really come down to how well Fnatic Onyx can control the map and split apart the members so that they get a false sense of security that maybe they can start a fight.
Oh, agree, definitely. I mean, looking on the side right now, they are great in
Orang di
position
Lord,
wise.
orang di Lord.
RRQ not allowing any of the backline comes in, even Fnatic also not giving
Mati
any of the
Dairen.
space to come through. But here now we do see Diren going for
Ayo,
initiation
Dairen,
again.
ayo.
Everyone comes
Yuk.
to Brusco
Aduh,
right on the
si
plate, but
Brusco-nya yang
doesn't
bahaya
manage
ini.
to connect the dot as quickly as possible. And Fnatic on it pull away as quickly. And now
Ya,
Team
Lord,
RRQ Hoshi, they
Lord.
want to get the slot immediately done.
They're gonna try and control
Killerannya, killerannya,
now.
killerannya.
Fnatic right on the edge,
Killerannya.
and the fight starts again.
The
Ayo,
Visors
iya,
get
mantap.
Kara
Killerannya
will be
mati.
picked out immediately by Duran, but at the same time that Zaman Force will
Iya,
deny of the movement, but he's
Brusco
able to take down
mati.
Brusco as well, pushing into King Kong. Duran going in
Ayo,
for the
RRQ.
Baron right on
Manis
the
banget.
King Kong, but doesn't manage to push through. But
Manis
Super
banget.
Prince
Aduh,
wins by
mati.
takedown over extension
Sujinnya
completely, but
mati.
Sujin will be able to take down by King Kong. But now Team RRQ, they want more.
Ayo, kejar,
They're gonna
kejar,
try to
kejar,
push
kejar,
into
kejar, kejar.
Super Prince,
Aduh.
going in with the Hailstorm, doesn't connect the dot. Skyler try to push away, slowing it down for the movement.
Nah.
Hailstorm again, and managed to take down Super
Awas,
Prince immediately,
Joy,
and now
Joy,
leaving
Joy,
2 more players
Joy,
here. King Kong
Joy,
right in the open,
Joy,
able to get put away.
Joy.
Tyron try to slow
Tak
him
bisa
down,
Lord,
goes
tapi
in
tak
for
bisa
Sky,
Lord.
managed to slow him down, and Team RRQ
Ayo, 2 lawan
Hoshi
4, 2 lawan
just
4.
try to do as much damage as they
2
can,
lawan 4.
but they
Ayo, ayo,
want
ayo,
to
ayo.
finish this off already.
Ya,
Kirk comes in
Brusco-nya.
for in the fight,
Brusco-nya mati.
in between,
Nah.
he tried to survive the damage, Prince takes him down, and now one more player goes in for
Oh,
the 0 and
2-0.
in the end, and
RRQ.
RRQ Hoshi wins the series with 2-0.
Mantap, 2-0.
Such a
RRQ.
good example of taking advantage